I had gotten this vision to put up $1 million teen center in the heart of Lancaster City. This video production studio and this skate park and all this kind of stuff, and I needed $1 million to do it. Anybody ever have a vision that they just couldn't get the money to do, just out of curiosity? Okay, you need to have a bigger vision. How many of you have a plan written out, articulated, to manage $1 million? I stroke you a check for $1 million. You have a plan to manage it. Hands right up high. Let me see your hands. $10 million. How many of you have a plan to manage $1 billion? You actually know you would do it if you had $1 billion. You have it thought through. You know what to do. Do you recognize that the size of the thing God can do through you is limited by your vision? If you don't have a plan for $1 million, what will you do with it? How likely are you to get it? Well, I went out and raised funds and did all that stuff and found myself competing with about 10 other 501c3 not-for-profit organizations in Lancaster for money. We started the ministry in the little existing building we did have, just being faithful. And I thought, I have a background in business and I'm pastoring. Maybe, just maybe, I need to go out in the business community and make the money myself. So I did. Can I be your coach? Hands right up high if you'll let me be your coach. Okay, fantastic. Everybody put your hand up, just like this. Go ahead. Now hold it up. How many of you believe that you have everything in your life that you want to have right now? Good. Yes, you all got it. Really, the only thing holding you back is who you are and how you think. But I want you to think about this. Anybody know what is the number one reason businesses fail? Does anybody have any idea? Now, you understand how most people go into business. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, my pager goes off, and I realize I'm going to go out and do this service call at 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to go out and fix this plumbing leak because I'm working for somebody else. So I get out there and do it, and on the way home, I'm driving back and I'm thinking, here I am, slaving away, and I know the company is going to charge $60 an hour for this call, and I'm only going to get 27 of it. And finally, I decided to myself, you know what? No more. That's it. I'm going to go out and start my own business. And I get what Michael Gerber calls the entrepreneurial seizure, and I cash in the 401k and take all the savings out, and I put my entire livelihood on the line. 3 months later, I've run out of cash because I was undercapitalized. I'm fighting with cash flow all the time because I don't know how to budget. I've gone through 2 or 3 apprentice plumbers because I know nothing about leadership and talent selection. I've lost some of my key accounts because I haven't understood how to communicate effectively with them and how to do what I said I was going to do and underpromise and overdeliver. And pretty soon, 6 months in, I'm struggling. And 9 months later, I'm out of business. And this happens over and over again in business. But I'll tell you the number one reason why this happens. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. Burnout. I'm going to give you a little test, and we call this the Do You Have a Business test. All right? So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to tell you a story, and when you can no longer see yourself in the story, I'd like you to sit down. Well, it's Monday morning, and you wake up around 8 or 9 o'clock, and you're not in a panic. And you've just come back from a long 3-day weekend. You were able to leave everything behind and go enjoy a 3-day weekend. And you get back on Monday and you're feeling pretty good, and you wake up at 9 o'clock and you decide to call into the office, and it's not the place where you live, by the way. And you call into the office and someone picks up and says, "Hey, boss, how was your vacation?" You say, "Fantastic, great, I'm so glad you were there, you really needed that." Boy, they're dropping like flies already. And you say, "You know what, I had such a good time. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take the next 3 weeks off. I need more of that. Do you agree it would be good for me to do that?" And the person on the other end says, "You know what, absolutely, boss. You haven't been a little tired. Why don't you go take some time off? 3 weeks is good." And then you say, "You know what? I so much enjoyed that. I think I'm going to make it 6 months. Run the place, will you?" And the person says, "Absolutely. I'll be happy to run. Me and the team, we've got it covered. We'll run the business for you." So you take off. You go away for 6 months, and you come back to your business. When you come back to your business, you come into the team. The business has grown and has become more profitable than when you left. Now, if you're still standing, we have to give you a big round of applause because that means you must have a business. How many of you have some real estate investments? Any of you invest in real estate? Got any property? Okay, a bunch of you. Great. Now let me ask you this question. How many of you go to that property every single day, clock in on the time clock, put a full day's worth of work in, and collect a paycheck and go home? Any of you do that on your property? Very few. Very few. Okay. Let me tell you why. That property is an asset to you, is it not? You put some cash in, maybe a little sweat equity, and that's just sitting on your balance sheet, okay, accruing equity as people are paying the mortgage payments for you. A business can be turned into an asset. Most businesses, when they start, are jobs. So if you have a business today, Your big focus has got to be, okay, how do I turn this job? And we only had 2 or 3 people that were able to stand up and say, I've got this asset that throws off cash flow so that I can leave for 6 months at a time and not have to work in this thing. There's only a few of you left standing. In 4 years' time, I took a business that I started in my basement, in my office, on a desk, and I turned it into an asset that I sold for $1 million. Once you master the principles involved in getting this business set up to run without you, you can do it over and over and over again. You get better and better. Isn't that cool? There is a bit of a process to do this. And as we've worked with business owners around the world, literally tens of thousands of businesses around the world, we found that every business has to go through this process. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to give you a whirlwind tour. I'm going to feed you with a fire hose, and I'm going to show you the path that we're going to need to take you on if you're going to do this in your business.